everybody. Hello everybody. This is the was the Worldview from an Outcast podcast. Presently is the no longer an Outcast podcast. And in the future I'm changing the name. But right now I want to focus on a special guest we have today, Karen Knight. Um Introduce yourself, Karen. Tell us what you do. It's a very impressive job title or line of work, I'd say.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Karen. I'm British Columbian, so I'm Canadian. I help not-for-profit organizations strengthen their volunteer programs. So my focus is all about volunteering.
Yes, and that is the ultimate way to go, like pastime, like thing to do in my mind. So
Mhm.
I've not got there yet, but I do like helping people when as much as I can and when I can. So exactly what does you have a consulting company, so it helps the other agencies who do the actual volunteer organization?
That's correct. So I'm a paid consultant, and if a nonprofit organization is struggling with a volunteer issue, whether that be recruitment or training or whatever, I can come in and help come up with ideas and stuff to make it better.
Wow, that's amazing. And soon we'll get into like examples of problems you solved if you're up for that.
Mhm.
But for
Absolutely.
now, how did you get the experience to have the knowledge that could take you this far?
I started volunteering when I was 11 years old.
Wow.
I went, yeah, and my family was never big into volunteering. It wasn't part of our family culture. But I was visiting my grandmother in her care home one day, and the person who called bingo wasn't there that day, and everybody was quite upset about it because the people who like to play bingo don't want to call it because then they can't play, and the people who don't like bingo
Yeah,
didn't want
yeah,
anything to do with it. So I said, well, all you have to do is sit here and read off these numbers, right? And they said, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I called bingo all one afternoon, and everybody was so appreciative and so
Oh,
thankful that they gave me candy and cookies. And I was thinking, this volunteering thing, this is a good deal. And then I
yeah.
went from there, like I've been volunteering ever since. And I went from there. I was leading volunteers both as a volunteer myself and as a paid volunteer leader. And then I've served on boards of directors, and I've done all sorts of things for many, many years. And so I finally decided I keep seeing the same problems coming up over and over and over in different organizations.
Yes.
So I thought maybe I'll come and help people solve those and make a difference in the world by helping the organizations that are out there doing the work.
Right, yeah, help people help to help people.
Exactly.
But all right.
Exactly.
Yeah, so can we have some of the obstacles well, that's a different thing. Either we could go in two directions. You could tell me any obstacles you have personally had on your career journey, or you can tell us how you've helped others with their issues within your company. I
Okay,
mean,
well,
for your company.
yeah, either one, because like I said, I've done a lot of volunteering myself. So, one of the things I have seen a lot of is organizations will often say, well, we can't get enough volunteers. And then someone reaches out to them and says, hey, I'm interested in volunteering, and nobody gets back to them. Right.
Oh,
And that
yeah.
has happened to me on a number of occasions where I thought this place looks like a good place to volunteer, and nobody ever responds. So
Yeah,
that's a really common one that I've seen both as a volunteer myself and as a consultant going in.
all right.
Another one I'll tell you a quick story is there was a an art gallery that was looking for volunteers, so I applied there, I went, I took the training, I did everything, and they said, okay, so your first shift is on this day. You show up here, you ask this person, and they'll get you started. So I did that, and the person I was supposed to report to had no idea I was coming. Just kind of looked at me
Yeah.
blankly and finally just gave me some make work stuff just to keep me busy. And I thought, well, it's the first shift, some miscommunication somewhere. But it happened the second shift as well. And when I went in for my third shift, I could see this look of annoyance pass over her face. So I
Mm,
just spun on my heel and walked out. Um,
yes.
so obviously they needed volunteers, but there was no communication in the background. Nothing was going on. The people who needed to know things weren't being told. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
I hear that feeling of like, well, if you're going to treat me like a nuisance, in my personal experience, like schools, I'm like, forget it. I'm not paying your $15,000 tuition, you
Right,
know? So
exactly.
let me can just consult my notes and see what. So other than the art gallery, what other type of volunteer work have you done or do you promote, and where is it taking place? Like, how great is your scope and what types of volunteer work have you done or promoted?
All sorts of things. No, most of my volunteering, of course, has been in British Columbia, where I'm based. But I have worked with animal rescue, I have worked with seniors care, I have worked with ocean conservation, I have worked, what else have I done?
That's
I've
all
worked
great
in
things.
museums, I've done all sorts of things. Yeah, I would have to sit down and write a list and figure it all out. And the same with my consulting. I've worked with again with seniors care and conservation organizations and all sorts of different organizations. Some really tiny local ones, some national or international ones. So I've had a lot of experience.
All right. And so, what would be the day in the life of your work?
Oh, ooh. Well, I meet with clients on a regular basis, so I usually have 2 to 3 meetings a day, and then with different clients. Some of them I mentor because I've got kind of 3 different services that I offer. One is just speaking and doing workshops and things like that. One is mentoring. If you're a new volunteer coordinator or a new leader of volunteers, and or you need some experience or some help, then I can meet with you once a week and we can talk over what you're going through and I can give you advice and kind of mentor you into to knowing the role well.
Yeah.
Um, and
So,
then the
yeah.
final one is when I actually come in, they have a problem and I come in and fix it rather than telling them how to fix it. I'll actually do it myself.
Oh, all right.
Right? So I have all sorts of different levels. So a day in the life, I usually have one call with a mentoring client, or I have a presentation. I do quite a lot of them. And then I'll have a meeting with say an organization called Ocean Wise, which I helped set up a volunteer program for them because they never had one. And it's a national organization here in Canada for ocean conservation. And
Yeah.
so I'll meet with them and then I'll go away and I'll do the work I need to do for them, whether that's writing policies or setting up a volunteer management software program for them or whatever the current job is at the time. So it's
Whatever it
quite
calls
varied.
for.
My day is quite varied.
All right. Oh, right. It would be, right? So your
Mhm.
idea to have this company seems very original. Are there any in your class of the same type, or are you the only one who has a company of such that you know of?
Um, I'm not the only one by a long way, but it is
Oh,
not a common thing. I
yeah.
think internationally there are probably 5 or 600 of us
Yeah.
internationally.
Okay.
Here in Canada, there's probably, say, maybe 20, maybe 20. And
Yeah,
then
yeah. Real rare. Yeah.
internationally, I'm probably one of the top 10 or 15.
Right. Yeah, you sound very on top of your game. So what what sort of policies, general things do you go by, or are your mantra, I don't know, not mantras, but like your like your um kind of what your I don't know how to say it, like not logo, but like your general theme, or in a simply put, you know?
Right. I don't know that I have a theme per se.
That's all
It's
right.
yeah. It's more uh, everything volunteering, I guess. If
Yeah,
the issue that you're having revolves around volunteering, I can help.
I
Is that what
understand. That's good.
you
That's
were
good.
trying to get
Yeah.
understand? Yeah.
And if someone wanted to volunteer, what avenues would do you suggest they go to? Anyone who's listening to this who is interested in being a volunteer, um, per se, not necessarily with you, but just in any area of the world.
Well, you first of all, you can't volunteer with me because I'm not a volunteer
Okay.
organization. But
Okay.
um, I think probably my suggestion is if you want to give back or you're interested in whatever the benefit that you're looking for from volunteering is, think first about what really interests you. What are you passionate about? What causes in the world really catch your attention
Mhm.
and make you think, I wish somebody would do something about that. And you look, chances are somebody is trying to do something about that, and you might be
Yeah.
able to help them. So
Yeah.
start with something you're already passionate about, whether that's conservation, whether it's helping seniors, whether it's helping animals,
Mhm.
whatever it is. Start with that. Then reach out to the organizations that are out there doing that, working on that cause, and there will be lots of them. And then find
For
the one that seems to really respond and resonate with you.
Mhm. Okay, yeah. Um, I don't know, so if so do you have, okay, you've stated it was helping elderlies, helping animals, the ocean life, and are there any other, like, broader or narrower subjects, anything at all that you think would need volunteer help?
Oh, there's thousands of things,
Okay,
thousands and
okay, yeah.
thousands of
Like
conflicts.
hunger and
Food
drought
banks,
and
yeah, food banks,
yeah.
helping. I worked for a symphony at one point, helping in the arts,
Mhm.
helping with concerts or events.
Yeah,
You can volunteer with hospice. You can
right.
volunteer with faith-based organizations. You can help with
Mhm.
medical. I mean, it goes on and on and
Right,
on. If you
wherever your
have
passion
a
is,
passion,
yeah.
it's out
Yeah,
there.
okay, yeah, that's a specific enough thing to say. Well,
Yeah, it's really huge what you can do.
I don't know, I don't have anything else, I was going to, touch on, like, if someone goes to another country, how do they get across language, culture, not really barriers, but just differences, and do you train, I mean, do people who volunteer train? I mean, you might have some knowledge of it, I don't know about experience, maybe too, I don't know.
Mhm. Um, volunteering across borders is something you have to be very cautious about.
Mm,
There are a number of ethical issues
mm,
around cross-border volunteering. So if
mm,
you're going to do that, be very, very careful in screening the organizations that you're
mm,
interested in volunteering with. There are some, it's often called volunteer tourism, where you pay to go and help in, say, an orphanage in a different country.
mm,
And the orphanage actually has to pay the company that's taking you there to
yeah. So,
have them done. There are some really bad ethical challenges around it. There are some that are absolutely brilliant. Doctors Without
mm,
Borders are
mm,
always looking for volunteers,
mm-hmm,
even if you're not a doctor yourself,
mm-hmm.
right?
All right.
Um, so if you're going to cross borders, really research your organization, and the organizations generally will train you in the areas that you need training in to get that done.
All right. Um, I don't know. This is a broad, exciting subject, something I would like to take more part in, something I would encourage anyone who's thinking about it to go for it with caution. And for you, I really appreciate you being with me today. I don't know where to go from here in the conversation, unless you have something else.
Um, no, not really. You know
Yeah,
your audience best. You
yeah,
tell me if you
it
figure
was
we've covered what they need to hear.
yeah, it was fun to talk to you. I don't mean to cut it short. I'm just at a loss of what else. I could go deeper into my notes. Hold on a minute.
It's up
So,
to you.
you know, just I want to also say just for safe and respectful travel during a stay in a foreign place, and it takes a lot of courage to do that, and kudos to people doing that around the world, helping people in need, and
Hmm.
to you for being such a passion a person passionate, so passionate about volunteering, which is always a beautiful thing. And I'm sure you would agree and say, I don't know, but for me, I think it is, yes, you did iterate. It's really rewarding.
Hmm. Absolutely.
So, um, so anyone who volunteers, and all the people who want to, just like, that's great. I mean, I'm really proud and congratulatory. I'm glad these people are at that place in their lives where they can sacrifice time, concern, effort, care to others. And that's just what it's all about, basically, so
Right. It's all about helping your fellow
yeah,
man. Yeah.
yeah.
Or woman or child
So,
or so yeah, no, it's my work is really rewarding,
mm,
and the benefits that people get from volunteering, both physical and emotional benefits,
yeah,
are phenomenal.
yeah.
Um, So it's a great thing to do if you haven't tried volunteering. I encourage you to give it a try. A lot of people give very short sessions so that you can just go and try it out and see what it's like. Or you can dive right in and take a full shift or serve as a board member or whatever. There's all sorts of different ways that you can volunteer, and it's definitely worth it. And if
All right.
any of your listeners are work at a not-for-profit and they're struggling with volunteers, give me a phone call. I'm sure that Summer will put my contact information in the show notes, and you can reach out and we can have a chat.
Okay, yes, that is definitely a good way to go with Karen Knight and her consulting business for volunteer agencies. She definitely knows what she's doing, and I will put her website link and anything else she requests in the show notes. So it was a beautiful talk, Karen. Thank you for being with me today on this no longer an Outcast podcast, which I'll change the name, and the name will be a Beautiful World Podcast for anyone who wants to know.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.